Taking the Mikel, brought to you by the good folk at BetWinner, is back. Chris McHardy, aka the Yes Man, according to an awful lot of you listeners out there. And I've got, well, everyone that Arsenal fans love at the minute, the best pundit in the world is Johnny. Mikel, we're back, Johnny.
We are back. We're back. It's been a while.
There's been a search party put out. A lot of Arsenal fans claiming that you've been running scared. And that's why we've not done one of these in a while. It's great to be back.
They wish. I mean, Arsenal fans, aren't they?
You're not going straight in, are you?
Yeah, I love Arsenal fans, but they just, they're delusional, aren't they? What they think. But yeah, I think, and also hacked into my Instagram as well.
Yeah, we'll get to that because you've quite literally been in the wars. You've been back in London. Arsenal fans have been stopping you in the street.
Yep.
They've been having a little pop. We'll get into it all. There's so much for us to discuss because you and I haven't.
Yeah, they've been stopping me on the street, like coming up to me. I was out with my daughters walking around, Knightsbridge, and a few Arsenal fans came up to me, and my daughters were like, "Who are they, Daddy?" I'm like, it's just this delusional fans that they think, that they're the best team in UK, in London, but they haven't won anything in 23 years. And they were like, how does that work when you haven't won anything in 23 years and you're meant to be the best? I'm like, it's just Arsenal.
And it's already begun. We'll get into Arsenal because, of course, we've not caught up since their League Cup final defeat to Man City. I want to start with Chelsea, though.
Yeah.
Because, of course, that is your club, your team. So much to get through from this international break, from comments from Enzo Fernandez, comments from Marc Cucurella. But we go back to the week from hell. I'll call it that. Defeat at home to Newcastle in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Of course, defeated the bridge to PSG in the second leg.
Yeah.
8-2 on aggregate. They're out, spoiler alert, of the Champions League. And then that 3-0 reverse at Everton. Yeah, not a good week, John. Not a good week.
No, not a good week for the club. For everyone associated with the football club. It's been horrible. It's been a shit show lately, obviously. I think, I said it here so many times. First of all, when the decision to get rid of Enzo Maresca, I said it here that it was a big mistake from the football club to make that decision, from the owners, from the sporting directors to make that decision. Getting rid of a manager that I saw us progressing. There was some sort of, us moving in the right direction, the way we play, the philosophy in which we play football and approach game as well, especially the big games, where I thought we always competed against the big teams. We're not blown away. And some of the games against the big four, big three, we did win some of those games. But right now, it's not happening. It's not happening. And then when the whole decision, getting rid of Enzo Maresca happened, I came on here and I said it. It's a huge mistake. You can't get rid of a manager that's won us 2 titles. One has the Club World Cup and, of course, the Conference League. But it doesn't matter. A trophy is a trophy. It depends on how you see it. But then how I saw it was the Conference League is not where we belong. But the Club World Cup was a good tournament for us to win. Be it that some of the big teams were not there. But it was still a big tournament for us to win. I said it was a wrong decision to get rid of him. Some of the Chelsea fans were like, no. I think it's time for him to go. His substitute was not good, blah, blah, blah. I said, we have to stick with him. And the truth has come out that sometimes when he made the decisions, because his hands were tied, there was people sitting on top of the, stands there saying, oh, you need to get rid of, you need to bring Cole Palmer out. You need to make changes. You need to do this, do that. So we didn't know the full story. But then when he got sacked, some of the stories came out. And no, it's a huge mistake. And the club will look back at that and think, we've fucked up here. It was a huge mistake.
You think they will?
I think they will. I think it's hard time that they take accountability of the decisions that they make at a football club. Because if you look at it now, since they took over the football club, the decisions that they've made has not been good for the football club. Whichever way you look at it, I've said it, what is our objectives? What is the aim of the football club right now?
To win
trophies. What are we trying to achieve?
Or sell players and make money.
The culture, the DNA of the football club, which Roman Abramovich installed in every single person associated with football, was winning trophies, being successful. Now I question it. What is the objectives of these new owners? We want to win titles. Our fans have been spoiled with winning trophies year in, year out. And that's all we know. Being successful, winning games, competing to win the Premier League, competing to win the Champions League. Because that's who we are. That's our DNA. You know what I mean? And since they came on board, I don't know what the objective is. I've questioned it so many times. And they're not happy about that. But I'm a Chelsea fan. I played for the football club. I won trophies for the football club. But right now, I'm a fan. And I'm talking from a fan perspective.
Yeah.
We want to continue to be successful. We want to continue to win trophies. And right now, it's not happening. So some of the decisions that they've made has not been good for the football club. Sacking Enzo Maresca, bringing Liam Rosenior. I said it when he came on, the first time. There's something that is not sticking together. There's something that is not quite right with his appointment. He's trying to speak in a certain way. He comes on press conferences. He's enforcing his authority by force. He wants to do it by force. It's not natural. Every time I see him speak, it's like he's saying, oh, my team, oh, my players, oh, the way I want to see my players play. You don't do that. It's like you're trying to force yourself with the authority. You want to say, okay, this is me. I want to have control. We all know you don't have control. We all know you're being controlled by the owners. They tell you what to do. So when he comes out in press conferences and make this statement, oh, my players, oh, my team. Mike, you've only been there 5 minutes, Mike. You've only been at the football club for 5 minutes. So stop saying that. Act normal, act natural. Try to create some sort of chemistry between him and his team. And he's not doing that. And you can tell now, we've been dumped out of the Champions League in a very disgraceful manner. It's insane. And then follow that up. You go to Everton and you lose 3-0. I watched the game. It was awful to watch.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Everton were all over us. They played like they were fucking PSG or Bayern Munich. Honestly.
They bullied you.
They bullied us from start to finish.
Yeah.
It was horrible to watch. And Liam Rosenior was there, sitting there, absolutely nothing to do. You need to make changes. You need to affect the game. You need to change the system. Nothing. Zero. So when you see players, top players like Enzo Fernandez and now Cucurella go to the national team and start making comments like this, they have started questioning, what is the aim? What is the objective of the football club? The owners. Because at some point, these big players, they want to win trophies.
Of course.
They want to win trophies. They've started now questioning their future at the football club. Because when they start getting offers from Real Madrid, big clubs, they're thinking, I need to think about my future here.
I want to win trophies.
I want to win trophies.
That's it.
I don't want to see that for another 4 or 5 years thinking, oh, now we need to start rebuilding again. They've done that with Enzo Maresca. Right now, if you've given Enzo Maresca with this team another couple of years, I would have seen us going somewhere in terms of winning the Premier League. But right now, the way it stands, with the changes that we've made, we've taken 1 step forward and now we've taken 10 steps backwards because there is no cohesion, there is no chemistry, there is no trust between Liam Rosenior and these players. I see him and it's like the players not listening to him. And when we're losing at home, you bring in Garnacho 5 minutes to the end of the game and you give him some paper. What the fuck was that?
Well,
what was that?
They were down to 10 men and he was trying to reach.
You're already down to 10 men. You're losing anyways at home. It's 5 minutes to go. Just tell the bloke, go in there and just kick the ball around. I don't care what you do because already lost the game. So all those things is just stacking up for him. And it doesn't look good for Liam. And listen, we can say here, young manager, inexperienced manager, does he have the credential to be a Chelsea manager to get us to where we want to be in terms of winning trophies, winning the Premier League and the Champions League? Yes, you can argue he needs time, but I just thought that Enzo Maresca was the guy. And I said it, the club will look back at it. The owners, the sporting directors, they will look back at it and say, you know what? We have absolutely shit on everything. Because what Enzo Maresca did for a year and a half, what he was building, you can see that there was a trend. We were moving forward. We were growing as a team. And he was bringing the best out of these young players. I just don't see it right now with Liam. I don't see these top players listening to him because they're looking at it thinking, we loved Enzo Maresca because he was getting the best out of us. With Liam, we don't know where we stand.
That's it.
We don't know what's happening. So for me, the whole thing is just a shit show from the football club. And again, the question is, what is our objectives? What we need to achieve? Is the objectives for the football club right now, the owners, is to get Chelsea Football Club to start winning the big trophies, or they're just there for the money?
With BetWinner, every game is your chance to win. Trust your instinct. Place your bets. Feel the victory. Win with BetWinner.
It's interesting what Enzo said. Enzo came out actually before the international break and he talked similar lines to you, John. No identity, no structure. We're missing those elements from Enzo's time at the club.
Yeah.
Mark Cucurella has come out similarly and said, why did the club get rid mid-season? Enzo should have taken this club through to the end of the season. He has, however, come out to say, listen, we like Liam. He's a lovely guy. Of course he's got to.
Of course he's got to say that.
It's his manager.
Of course he's got to say that.
But the point he's made is, we can see he's got some good ideas, but we've just not had enough time on the training pitch so far. But what I did think from that interview that Mark Cucurella gave with The Athletic, he spoke about something that you, John, have been saying for months. It's all good and well bringing in young players, but that PSG tie away at the Stade, or the Parc des Princes, and then back at Stamford Bridge, showed up that we are missing experience in key areas.
It was there for everyone to see. I mean, the lack of experience that we had in that game, that showed in that game, is just there for everybody to see. And those are the games where you look back and, when I remember when we were at the football club, we approach games like this. The experienced players were always very, very vocal because they know this is their time for them to step up and pull the young players through with them. So pull the young players along with them. So I look at this team now. You tell me, where does the experience come from? Where is the leadership? There is none. There is no leadership at this football club anymore.
Well, Enzo with the captain's armband, which, by the way, him after that game, he wore the captain's armband.
Yeah, I know that. He wore that captain armband.
But he came out after, and what did he say? What about your future, Enzo? Oh, I don't know. We'll wait till the summer. That's not a leader. I'm sorry.
That's not a leader. Again, that's something that if you have leaders, if you have leaders that players respect and sort of look up to, you wouldn't come out and make the statement. No. Because you'll be thinking, how is this going to go down with the dressing room? How is this going to go down with the top players, the big players, when they get to see this, that you come out after we've been dumped out of the Champions League and you were the captain in that game, correct, and you come out and you make such a statement. How will that go down well with the senior players in the dressing room?
No.
And he's looked at him thinking, who the fuck is going to hold me responsible in that dressing room, right? No one.
No one.
No one. The leadership is not there. I can come out and say whatever the fuck I want. No one is going to hold me responsible. And that's exactly what happened.
Exactly.
And I have to say about Enzo Fernandez, I said it. His progression at the football club starting to get better. When we signed him, everyone was questioning. But last season, he had a good season.
Very good.
He scored a few goals. He was arriving late in the box, getting goals and winning those games. But for him to come out and make such a statement after we've been disgracefully dumped out of the Champions League, and you come out and you make that statement wearing the captain armband,
it's not good.
No player is bigger than the football club.
No.
If he's had enough, put your hands up and fuck off. Yeah. And we move on. We move on. No player is bigger than a football club, especially a club as huge a size as Chelsea. You cannot come out and say that. It doesn't matter what is going on.
No.
It doesn't matter what is happening. You've been paid handsomely well to be at this football club. You should be grateful that you're playing for a club like Chelsea Football Club because of the culture that we've built, because of the success we've built for so many years. I can understand a little bit his frustration, but
immediately after the game,
you still have to respect the badge. You still have to respect the football club. You still have to respect the fans because the fans are the ones who pay your wages. Because when you come out and you make that statement, that is very, very disrespectful to the football club and to the fans.
But it comes back to the point you made a few minutes ago, John. The frustration, you're right. There's a time and place to do that. But what you said a few minutes ago is right. We saw it with Arsenal not so long ago. The Cesc Fabregas, the Robin van Persie's, who waited and waited and waited in the hope that the penny would drop for Arsene Wenger, bring in experience, bring in the quality, and we're successful together. They waited and waited and waited, and then they said, we've had enough. We're off. We're jumping ship. Chelsea are in danger of exactly that happening now.
Exactly.
Cole Palmer, Enzo Fernandez, Mark Cucurella, the list goes on of players that I think there's a lot of clubs that would be
The
looking
strategy, exactly. The strategy right now of the football club is bringing in young players.
young players.
Young players. But where's the experience? You need a bit of experience to be able to guide those young players, because this is the Premier League. This is the most difficult league in the world. When you bring in those young players from, say, Brazil, Spain, wherever you bring in Africa, wherever you bring in them from, this is the difficult league. This is the most difficult league in the world. They need somebody in the game, on the pitch, to be able to guide them when the game is tough, when the game is difficult. It doesn't matter how good you are as a young player. This is the Premier League. It will eat you up. You need a bit of experience to be able to guide you through games. And when you don't have that, you struggle.
Yeah.
You will struggle massively. So for me, the strategy of the football club is to bring in those young players. But as in doing that, you still need experience. You need a mixture of whatever you need to do, and still keep the culture of the football club, which is winning trophies. Winning trophies. Right now, we have players like Cole Palmer, players like Enzo Fernandez, Cucurella, Moise Caicedo. When they start getting phone calls from the likes of Real Madrid, Florentino Perez, who is the master in stealing players from clubs. You know, he put in this bid, and you can't refuse. You can't refuse a phone call from Florentino.
Not if your club's meandering. And right now there's a feeling Chelsea are meandering, John. There
Exactly.
They're not, to your point, and you've got great demands because you've been there, seen it, done it. And so do the fans. They want this club to be successful. And right now, by backing youth, I saw some fan actually liken it to it's Brighton and Hove Albion on steroids. Is Chelsea right now, whereby they're mimic themselves against a club who for the number of years have punched above their weight.
Yeah.
But this is Chelsea Football Club.
Yeah.
Your job is not to buy and sell and trade and make money. Your job is to win trophies.
That's where I question it. And that's why I say the objectives. What is the objective? The objective of this club has to be winning. It has to be winning trophies. We don't want to become a club like Arsenal that is taking them 22 years, 23 years now. They're on the verge of winning the Premier League. We don't want to be that. We don't want to become that sort of club. We want to be back winning the Premier League, because the Premier League is a creme de la creme. You know what I mean? So, and that's what we want to win, because we've been so spoiled of winning this kind of trophies. So I don't know the objective of the football club. The owners, they have to come out and they have to tell everybody, what is the aim of the football club? It's as simple as that, because the fans have the right to know what is the aim of the football club, because right now they're not telling us. And when you have these players, there's no smoke without fire, because right now we know that Cole Palmer is being linked with a move to Manchester United. Cucurella now has come out and said he's thinking about his future. Enzo Fernandez, the same thing. Moise Caicedo hasn't come out and said, but if he gets a phone call from Real Madrid, he's gone, mate. Because they don't know what their future is.
Yeah.
They don't know when they will start winning trophies again. And they're thinking about their future now. They don't want to wait another 4 or 5 years. Do you think another 4 or 5 years we'll be in a chance of winning the Premier League? City will get better. Liverpool will get better. Arsenal will get better.
United will get better.
So do you think we, right now, with the way we're going, in the next 4 or 5 years, we're going to win the Premier League? I don't believe that. But I think if we had Enzo Maresca still, because he's managed to build that trust, that chemistry, that winning culture between him and the players, I would have seen us in the next 2 or 3 years with few experienced players. I would have seen us competing to win the Premier League. But right now, with what has happened, I think we might lose 1 or 2 senior players, if not this summer, next summer.
They're sixth currently, are Chelsea, John.
Yep.
I've seen it intimated. I haven't certainly seen any quotes from Big Dad or Todd or any of Paul Winstanley, Lawrence Stewart, your 2 sporting directors, actually saying Liam is safe. But it's been intimated by various newspapers and outlets that if they get Champions League or not, Liam is our man.
Oh, you can't say that. Again, the same thing that Enzo Maresca did when he came out and said, "Oh no, we're not competing to win the Premier League." You can't say that. If you're on the club as big as Chelsea Football Club, where we've played we've always played the Champions League. How can you come out as a manager and say it doesn't matter whether we make the Champions League or not? He came out and said that, and the owners as well come out and say that he's still going to be our man. No, if we don't make the Champions League, I'm sorry, it's a fucking disaster. He has to go. He has to go. No, mate, if we don't make the Champions League, what is the point?
You would sack him.
Is that a question?
Yes.
He has to go. If we don't make the Champions League, he has to go. He has had time to be able to win games. He's had time.
Started off all right.
It started off all right, but look at the games. But look at the games we won. Look at the games that we won on paper.
Yeah.
Every time we've come up against the big team, we've lost.
Correct. 3 Arsenal, 2
Same,
PSG, Newcastle.
same against Arsenal. Same.
Yeah.
And it hurts so much that the same Arsenal that's keep beating us. So for me, if he doesn't make the Champions League, there is no reason for him to stay. He has to go. A club as the size as big as Chelsea Football Club, we have to be in the Champions League. We have to be in the Champions League. You can't come as a manager, even if you don't believe it. Don't say it. Pretend that you believe it. Because now when you come out and say something like that, your players are looking at you thinking, hold on a minute. Players like Enzo Fernandez looking at it thinking, no, I want to play the Champions League next season.
Of course.
I don't want to play the fucking Conference League again next season. Moiskai said the same thing. They've tasted what it feels like playing the Champions League.
And
they don't want to fucking go back to Conference League or Europa League.
No, absolutely not.
And when you come out as the manager and say that, and the owners as well, and say that, what is the objective of the football club? Again, I keep saying it. And everybody can say, I sound like a broken record. But it's always important to know. With Roman, we knew what it was. If you're not winning,
you're out.
You're out.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. Because he made it pretty clear that I'm here to win. I'm here to win. It doesn't matter what it is.
And that trickles down, right?
And that trickles down to everybody.
I'm looking.
The laundry man, the kit man, everybody knows that what Roman wanted was winning. When you start saying, oh, I don't know if you qualify for the Champions League. Oh, no, come on. It doesn't sit well. It doesn't sit well with everybody because you're not sending the right message to your players, to the staff, to the physios, to the medical team. It's not right. So for me, I just, Chelsea fans are frustrated. So am I. I'm frustrated with these owners. You can't say that they don't have the right intention. Maybe they do. But they're not showing it the right way. They're not projecting it right way to the fans, to the players. Because the Champions League, you can't say if you don't make the Champions League, it's fine. It's not fine.
No.
It's not fine.
Not for a club.
No, not a club as Chelsea. Because right now, we don't want the likes of Aston Villa, Newcastle qualifying for the Champions League, and we're not. So for me, I just think it's the wrong statement.
I've got bad news for you, John. I'm sure you're aware of these, but in all of the teams battling for that top 5 this season, which will guarantee Champions League football next season, I would argue that Chelsea have got easily the hardest running. City at the bridge, United at the bridge, Brighton away, Forest fighting for their lives at home.
It's not getting easier, is it?
You go to Anfield. The only crumb of comfort out of all of this, you might relegate Spurs in the penultimate game of the season, and then you finish up at the Stadium of Light, Sunderland, final day. If you needed something on that, I wouldn't actually fancy you up there, John. So when you look at that running, it's not easy.
It's not easy. It's not easy. I mean, it is the Premier League. There's no game is easy in the Premier League, but Liam needs to find a way now of saying, putting point on the board and winning games. And find a way of getting this team to play. Something is missing. I said it before. There's something missing the way we play. We're not approaching the game the right way. We're not playing particularly well. I don't see us, playing well to be able to win big games. And you just mentioned it there. The games that we have are big games. They're very, very difficult games.
And he struggled in them.
Exactly. And he struggled in big games. So he has to find a way of getting this team to play, to compete when we play against the bigger teams. Because it's going to be more and more difficult. That's what the Premier League gives you. The Premier League is the most difficult league in the world. So you have to be ready. You have to approach every game as if it's your last, as if it's a cup final. So he has to do that right now. I don't know how many games we have left, 6, 7, 8 games.
So 1, 2, 3.
He has to approach every game as if it's a final. And that's the way we have to approach it. And when you start having all this negativity around the players, around the staff, everything, players not knowing whether they're coming or going, it doesn't sit well. You know what I mean? We don't need the negativity right now. All we need is positivity. And when these players go to international and start making these comments, who is going to hold them responsible? Again, that's what I talk about, leadership. Leadership. If I made this comment back in the day, and fucking John Terry hears it, and we're fucking strong, we out of the Champions League, I'll get a phone call straight away.
Of course.
Mate, what the fuck have you just said? Before you come back here, make sure you go back to that media, whatever the fuck it is, and put things right. And say, apologize to the team, apologize to your teammates before you come back here. Because, mate, if you do that, if you don't do that and you come back, it's going to be difficult for you in that dressing room.
Of course.
It's going to be fucking difficult for you in that, because every senior player is going to be looking at you thinking, what the fuck have you done?
You've thrown us under the bus.
You've thrown everybody under the bus. You've thrown the club under the bus. You've thrown the players under the bus. You have to make it right before you return. So that's what I'm saying. Again, it comes down to leadership. Leadership starts from the top. And right now, from the top of the football club, the owners,
it's not right.
the manager,
It's not right.
it's not right.
It's not.
And it trickles down to the players. That's why we're getting red cards. Discipline is all over the fucking place. And again, we've seen players go to national team and make comments like this. It's just a shit show what's going on in the football club. I hope that we qualify for the Champions League. I seriously do, because if we don't qualify for the Champions League, I don't think any Chelsea fan will say they want Liam Rosenior to remain at the football club.
Right, we go from one shit show to another. See what I did? Sorry, John, I had to do it. Chelsea to Spurs. Sorry, Spurs fans. Hey, listen, they've done one thing right, or at least I say they've done it right, because I know you like this fella. I've heard some tales. Maybe they needed a lunatic, and this bloke is a lunatic.
Oh, yeah, he's a fucking lunatic.
Roberto de Zerbi's in. It's a 5-year deal. They've obviously given him a huge bonus to keep them up.
Yeah.
They clearly have. He's in now. 5-year deal.
Yeah.
Is he the man to save Spurs, John?
Oh, you've just said it there. They need a fucking lunatic. And a good lunatic he is. He's a good lunatic.
But he needs time on the grass, John.
Yeah, but he's not going to get time that. You're not going to get that.
That's the worry.
Because they have 7 games left.
Yeah.
And he needs to start quickly. He needs to hit the ground running. He needs to start winning games. He needs to start putting points on the board, because that's what Spurs need. He is the perfect guy. I've always said it, that maybe Manchester United would have appointed him, but Spurs have gone out and done the business. I think it's the right appointment for Spurs. I think they needed that. They needed a manager with strong personality, a manager that has strong confidence in himself, a manager that can shake up that dressing room, a manager that can get those players to get their ass off their backside and do what is the basic, which is fucking run.
Yes.
Run, tackle, fight for the badge, and fight for the football club. That's all they need to do. Keep it simple. Don't complicate things. Don't try to be to play pretty and give all the flair and everything. No. Keep it simple. Win games. It doesn't matter how you win games right now. In terms of Spurs, fighting for relegation. It doesn't matter how they win it.
Just win.
Just win.
Yeah.
They have to win. I think even if you're not a Spurs fans, there is that thing though. I know I'm Chelsea through and through, but it's weird to say. There is that thing that you don't want to see Spurs in the Championship. Nobody wants to see that.
Everyone wants
with
to
the amazing stadium that they have. They spent over $1 billion building that. The training facility, the players that they have. You don't want to see Spurs in the Championship. Yeah, we don't want to see that.
Yeah, we do. I do. Sorry, Spurs fans, I do. It would be phenomenal. Phenomenal. To see a club of that stature. Come on, John, because what it would do is it would
No. Honestly, I'm not a Spurs fan. I'm not a Spurs fan. But you don't want Spurs in the Championship. No, sorry. No disrespect to the Championship. I don't want to see Spurs. You would want to see Spurs hosting in that stadium the likes of Preston, Stoke, no disrespect to Stoke.
Oxford United.
Wrexham.
Yes.
Jesus, no.
I want to
no
see
fucking
it.
way. I don't want to see that.
Everyone that's not a Spurs fan, other than John, who's a closet Spurs fan now, clearly.
But what I want to say though is that, yes, De Zerbi, 5-year contract. It's a massive statement from the football club to give him 5 years contract and to take out any relegation clause in the contract.
It's good for them as well, by the way.
It's good for them. And it's bad news for the players because they have to know that it doesn't matter what happened, this bloke stays.
Yeah, fair.
So if you're thinking, after 7 games, he's going to fuck off, I'm just going to play whatever, I'm just going to do whatever I want. No, he stays. The club has made a massive statement and saying, we're sticking with him, not with you.
Yeah, fair.
You can fuck off come the end of the season, but we're sticking with this manager. Yeah. And that's the decision they've made. And that is a massive, massive decision. And I commend Spurs for doing that. Yeah. And they have to know those players. Because these Spurs players, honestly, Everybody talk about it. They think they're so much better than they are.
Oh, that was going to be my question.
They think they're so much better than they are, but they're not. And if there is one manager that's going to let them know
where they're at.
Where they're at is fucking De Zerbi.
Yeah.
He will let these players know exactly the level where they belong. And with the level that they belong is the level that they have to fucking run. Yeah. Do the basics.
Yes.
Run, tackle, fight for the badge of the football club, fight for the fans. That's all you need to do right now. Don't complicate anything. And he knows he doesn't have much time in terms of, his philosophy, the way he wants to play. He's not going to get much time, on the grass, in the training ground, to be able to coach this team, to be able to install his philosophy. He knows he doesn't have that. He has 7 games. He has to hit the ground running straight away. He has to start winning games. So I'm sure he must have communicated that to the Spurs board, and they're all on board on the way they want to approach these 7 games. It's just win. We don't care how you play right now. Don't try to complicate things in training, because the way he wants to play is very complicated. But if you get it right, it's a brilliant way to play football.
It is.
It's amazing to watch. It's a joy to watch De Zerbi. I loved watching him when he was at Brighton. The way Brighton was playing, the way he was there, because it's about breaking the lines. And when you break those lines, it's beautiful football to watch. So he's not going to have time to be able to do that right now.
No.
All he has to do is win games. And this Spurs player, they have to know that this manager will come in there and he will shake that dressing room up. You have to roll your sleeves up and fucking run. If you're not on board with De Zerbi, you don't play. It doesn't matter who you are.
100%.
You don't play. And that's what I like with him. He's confident. He has a strong personality. He doesn't care who you are. He tells you how it is. But sometimes, your strongest quality might also be your weakness. He has to find that balance.
Yes.
He needs that balance right now. With the way he approaches things and the way he needs this team to play now in the next 7 games.
Because the confidence is fragile. If he's too, I guess, honest with them.
Exactly.
As I think Igor Tudor was, it can go the other way.
Yeah.
Listen, I know you weren't involved. In fact, I can't think of any relegation battles you were involved in, John, but you played the game. How difficult, I read this a lot, I hear it from commentators and other pundits.
Yeah.
How difficult is it to arrest a psyche? Let's be honest about it. A lot of those Spurs players think they are far too good for the situation.
They think they're the bollocks Sunday.
So how do they, and how does Roberto, John, go about in changing that?
You have to tell them the truth. Sometimes the truth is the way out. Most times the truth is the way. It's not sometimes. You have to be honest with the players. You have to tell. Mourinho used to tell us that. He tells you where your level is. Mate, don't try your level is there. No, because it's not. You are here. Remain here and try to build. Because that's all you need sometimes. I'm not saying destroy the player's confidence. He tells you the truth. This is where you belong, mate. But puts his arm around you still. But let you know where you belong. Don't think you are the bollocks when you're not.
So in other words, Josie, to you, John, you're not a number 10. You're a number 4. Pal.
Exactly what he told me.
Don't dribble, just pass.
Don't think because everybody's telling you, oh, you're the number 10 in Nigeria. Everything goes through you. No. When you play here for me at Chelsea Football Club, you're number 6. Sit there and let the likes of Frank Lampard and the rest of them, Michael Ballack, go there and score goals. You sit here. Sometimes you need the truth to be able to help you. Yes, these Spurs fans, they are struggling. They need to start winning games. They need to start putting points on the board. They don't have that much time. And he doesn't have that much time, De Zerbi. And he knows that. He's an experienced manager. But one thing I like about him, if you're looking for a manager that can tell the players the truth, the honest truth, and bring out the best in them, is De Zerbi. Because I've seen the way and what he did with Brighton. And what I think he will bring. One thing I think they lacked. Ugo Tudor did not have a good relationship with the fans. Thomas Frank as well did not have a good relationship with the fans.
They win football matches.
They didn't win football matches. But one thing that I think De Zerbi will do, with his passion, the way he kicks everything on the touchline, his personality, I think that's probably one thing that the Spurs fans will buy into. They want somebody who's going to come in, who's going to be like, a lunatic in the touchline, who's going to challenge everything, who's going to challenge the referee, who's going to kick everything on the touchline, who's going to show passion during games.
He'll do that.
He will do that. Make no mistake about that.
No doubt.
Make no mistake about that. He will do that. Probably get a red card, but they don't need that right now.
They need him on the touchline.
They need him on the touchline.
Yeah, they do.
So, if there's somebody that I think is going to get Spurs out of this shithole where they are right now, it's going to be him. And credit to Spurs for going out there and doing the business and giving him a 5-year contract as well. Telling the players and telling the fans that this is a manager that we want to stick with long term. If he can be able to get them, out of relegation zone and they get them to stay up next season, then he can implement his philosophy the way he wants to play. He's a brilliant manager. And I think the sort of football that he plays is the sort of football that Spurs fans like. Very, very attacking. Sometimes can be open at the back. But if you want to win football games, you need to attack.
Of course.
You need to have the ball. And I hear people saying, sometimes it doesn't defend. When you all constantly have the ball, you don't defend that much. You don't defend that much. And that's something that his teams always do. He likes to have the ball. And when you have the ball constantly, you defend less.
Yes.
And he likes to press as well. He likes to press forward. He likes to chase the ball when they don't have it. So I think Spurs fans are going to they're in for a treat. But they have to, first of all, stay up. And that's his job. He has to make sure they stay up. If they stay up, next season, they'll see the best of him because I think he's a fantastic, absolutely brilliant manager.
With BetWinner, every game is your chance to win. Trust your instinct. Place your bets. Feel the victory. Win with BetWinner.
By and large, of course, there are still a large swathe of the Spurs support not in favour of Roberto de Zerbi, given his stance on Mason Greenwood. We're not going to get into that for now. By and large, Spurs
We're not
fans,
getting into the politics of the game.
No, we're not. Well, maybe we'll in a bit, but not now. So Spurs have got Roberto de Zerbi. I think it's only, for the vast majority of Spurs fans, the only second smile they've had all month. The second of those, or the first of those rather, came in the League Cup final, John.
Yep.
They weren't involved in it, but their great rivals Arsenal losing the first trophy of the season. I know it was a couple of weeks back. A lot of water has passed under the bridge, but that second half performance from Arsenal was not good. City, excellent. Let's give them credit. But Arsenal in that second half, you're shaking your head. I know where you're going.
Oh, my God.
But
you don't want me to start again, you Arsenal fan?
Oh, yes. The floor is yours. But no, it wasn't good.
Listen, I've said it so many times. What happened after the game, the Arsenal fans? Did you see the comments? They were all coming out and saying how they were not impressed with the game. And that's something that I've said. They know the truth. The only reason why they're not complaining with the style of football that they're playing
they're winning.
is because they're in the fucking top of the league.
Yeah, they're winning.
If they were third, fourth, or whatever it is, they will be asking for Arteta to be sacked because the style of football they're playing is horrible. It's a horrible style of football that they're playing, but they're winning games. Don't get me wrong. People think this is...
Oh, you said there were cheats, John, last time.
I did.
You sticking by it?
I am sticking by it. I am sticking by it. But there is different ways of winning games.
Of course.
You can win game whichever way you want. But they will go down as the worst team to ever win the Premier League. They're entitled to winning that way. They're entitled to winning that way.
And they won't care.
And they don't care, which is fine. They can win whichever they want. But they will go down as the worst team to win the Premier League. Leicester won it better with the style of play, style of football they played.
Agree.
So for me, lots of Arsenal fans came out after the finals and said, oh my God, this is horrible to watch. We played so poorly. We were horrible. We were this and that. Man, it's been going on for the past 4-5 fucking months.
You just didn't score.
You didn't care about it because you're on top of the league. This was the final. It was a one-off game, and that's why they're all coming out and saying how bad they were. Man, they were horrible. The first 10, 15 minutes, yes, they were good. But after that, they lost everything. But then it comes down again to manager that has the belief on his players, a manager that knows how to win the Premier League, a manager that knows how to win titles, a manager that wants to throw everything into the final. You going into a final, a cup final, and you're going to pack the bus, you're going to sit back against a team that you know that you have to take the ball off their hands. The only way you beat City, Manchester City, Pep Guardiola in a final, get the ball off him. Get them to defend because they're not so good at that.
No.
We all know that they're not so good at that. They hate defending. And that's why Pep Guardiola always wants to have the ball. When he has the ball, they create chances. With the players that they have, they will score goals eventually. And that's exactly what happened. How can you, Mikel Arteta, with the players that you have, with the money that you've spent, go into a cup final and you play that way, it's a horrible way to play. Second half, they were absolutely zero. City dominated the game. Pep Guardiola and his players knew exactly how to win cup finals because they've been there. They've done it. They know how to win titles. Again, Rodri said it 2-3 seasons ago. When Arsenal were coming to play them in Etihad, when they were about to win the league, he said, we looked at their eyes, at the faces of the Arsenal players. We knew they came to the Etihad to get a draw.
Not to win.
Not to win.
Just to get
a point, a draw. And straight away, we knew that was the wrong mentality. Straight away, we knew this is the wrong way of approaching games. They were scared. They were nervous. And that's exactly what I saw in that cup final. A team that is nervous, a team that is full of nerves, a team that couldn't handle pressure. When you go into Wembley, it's a cup final.
Of course.
There's nothing, you have to leave everything on that pitch. I played in Wembley so many times. We won so many trophies.
Mic drop, just throwing that in there, John.
We won so many trophies in Wembley. You have to, it's a stadium where you have to go and just leave everything on the pitch. Go out there, play your best, approach the game the right way. And Mikel Arteta and Arsenal failed to do that. They were so pragmatic. They were so rigid. There was no creativity. Saka looked like he didn't want to be on the pitch. You know, where is the creativity coming from? And I've said it so many times. The past 4 or 5 months, there is no creativity in this team. There is nobody that wants to take responsibility to create chances. Because, again, what do they depend on? Corner kicks. If you watch that final, there was a point in time where they got a corner kick. And Havertz were going like this, yeah. Havertz cheering the fans because he's looking thinking,
this is our best chance.
This is our best chance of scoring a goal. It's laughable. It's horrible.
You've been in those finals. And I always, when I look back in the history, the League Cups, let's be honest about it, the start of a season, the League Cup's the trophy that...
Yeah.
There's more important trophies than the League Cup.
It is a trophy.
But it is. And Jose Mourinho it was. I always remember Jose in an interview talking about the importance of the League Cup in the...
It's the first trophy.
Exactly. In the position that it's in the calendar, it can actually kind of set you alight, if you will, heading into the business end of a season. He made it an art form. Win the League Cup in February or March, and it can carry you through to bigger trophies.
It does.
Guardiola did it. This was a huge opportunity. So I guess the question, John, is how do you see that impacting Arsenal? Does it impact them at all? Or ultimately, you know, Ian Wright afterwards was saying it's maybe a good thing they've lost this.
Oh, my God.
That they can now really they've learned their lesson, they can kick on. How do you see it?
First trophy of the season. It gives you a massive, massive psychological edge. Massive psychological edge. And that's how we looked at it. You know, when you win that, it sets you up because you taste what it feels like winning trophy. And I think for Manchester City and the new players that Pep Guardiola has brought into the football club, winning that trophy, seeing the chemistry that it brought, you can see Pep hugging his players, kissing his players, whichever way. Sometimes a bit much, Pep, as he always does.
I thought that was interesting, John. He celebrated it as if it was the Champions League.
Yeah, but it's a manager that's sort of under pressure. He doesn't want to go 2 seasons in a row without winning any trophy for Manchester City. And for him to win that trophy feels like it set them up come the rest of the season because they're out of the Champions League. Yes. Now they can concentrate.
League and FA Cup.
And he's looking at it thinking, for this my new team, this new City side, it's a huge psychological edge for these players because now they can taste what it feels like winning trophies. Fair. And this is what I want them to taste. And now the likes of Cherky and all these players, Semenyo, Gay, now they've tasted what it feels like winning trophy with Manchester City. And for Arsenal, it's a massive blow. Massive, huge blow. They're still in the Champions League. They're still in the FA Cup.
And they're top of the league.
Premier League. And City now can solely concentrate on the Premier League. So it's a massive, massive psychology. And I think whoever gone on to win that League Cup might have the chance of winning the Premier League. But I still think Arsenal are sitting in the right position in terms of going on to win the Premier League.
9 points.
9 points is a huge gap.
Game in hand. They play each other.
6, game in hand. They play each other, exactly. But don't forget, the Champions League is there. You have to, he wants to win the Champions League. Is he going to be like, okay, you know what? I don't want to win the Champions League anymore. I'm going to concentrate on the Premier League. No, you can't do that.
You know what he does? Lads, you're off to international football. Go for a few days and then get back. 11 players.
That is horrible. That's horrible. But again, this is Mikel Arteta. You know, he wants to do everything.
Of course.
Every single thing he wants to do. Again, I'm not going to say it's cheating. But again, it's detrimental. Again, now, for England, what happened? I know it's a friendly game.
He doesn't care about England though, John.
Exactly, he doesn't. But England are the ones who suffer for it. I know it's a friendly game.
It's a good thing.
But your last game before the World Cup, you want to win that game. You want to make a statement. You want to win a game leading up to going into the World Cup.
Of course, England.
And England lost the game now.
But Mikel Arteta doesn't care.
But he doesn't care. But again, Thomas Tuchel and the FA shouldn't have granted so many players.
I'm going to ask you a question.
To go back to... No.
I don't want you to get in trouble.
They have to represent their national team. They have to. It doesn't matter whether you want to win your Premier League, your first Premier League in 22 years, 23 years. It doesn't matter. Your national assignment is your national assignment. City had the likes of Foden was there. Nico O'Reilly was there. So why Arsenal? Like I said, the national team is the national team. You have to respect the national team. You have to make sure you do what's right. And I just think that this Arsenal players, what happened now has happened, and it's become England has gone on to lose the game. And everybody will talk about it and say they shouldn't have let Thomas Tuchel and the FA shouldn't have let all the Arsenal players leave, all in one go. Madueke, Saka, Rice.
Ben White stayed.
Ben White stayed because he hasn't been there for what, 2-3 years?
Yeah, and
he decides whenever he want to come play for England.
He's not a star.
Which I thought was a horrible, listen, Thomas Tuchel knows what he's doing.
Of course he does.
If anyone knows what he's doing, it's Thomas Tuchel. But if a player has rejected the national team for 2 years or more,
since Qatar,
whatever it is, left the national team.
4 years.
And now he's been like, oh, now I'm ready.
That's why,
come on, man.
He got booed coming on.
And then you drop one of the best right back.
Trent
Alexander-Arnold. Not in the squad.
I don't understand.
I don't understand that. And you're picking him over a player that has rejected the national team to represent his national team. He rejected to wearing the colors of his national team. And you pick that player over a player who's playing right now in his, Real Madrid playing games. Whether he doesn't defend or what, there's games that you need him. In this World Cup, there's games that England will be so much in control of the game. And you need Trent Alexander-Arnold with his crosses, with his delivery, with the way he plays the game. You can chop and change. If you think there's a game where you need to defend, yes, okay, put him on the bench. But to say that Trent Alexander is not in 37-man squad, not 20, 37. 37.
He gets in.
He was not in the squad.
No, I know.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible. I don't know what the situation is. I have no idea what the situation is. Thomas Tuchel knows better, but I just don't understand it.
And that's it. For me, in terms of what he gives you going forward, there will be games.
We know
exactly. A lot of England opponents are going to sit in and compact. His delivery is from set pieces. I know you hate them, John, but
there's no better. Him and Reece James. There's no better.
Phenomenal.
Right now in the Premier League.
I question that as well. Listen, I like this because I'm making tenuous links, but I think they work. We go from Trent Alexander-Arnold to, I tell you who's missed him this season is Mohamed Salah. And I want to get to this man because, of course, the other big headline in the last week or so, he's announced he's leaving Liverpool at the end of the season. Yeah. Obviously, all the talk has been, where does he go next? Where does he rank in the list of Premier League greats? Listen, you know the bloke. We've talked a lot about Mo Salah on this podcast, various stories. And when you look at what he was at Chelsea to what he is now, I think you've admitted you never saw that. JT said the same.
No, we never saw the progress. Nobody thought that Mo Salah would become the player that he is today or gone on to achieve what he's achieved today. Credit to the kid, credit to the lad. A man now. He's a man now.
It's weird to me thinking you're older than Mo Salah. It's that fresh face of yours.
No, listen, what he's gone on to achieve. When you got rejected by big clubs, especially Chelsea, and then you got off and improve yourself, the mentality, this discipline that he had in terms of trying to improve himself and try to get better, and coming back and showing everybody that we've missed out on a top player, a Premier League great, a player that's gone on to break records and won titles for Liverpool. For me, it's a huge news. If you're a Liverpool fan or not, I mean, for Mo Salah to be leaving the Premier League after so many years. I mean, Liverpool's trophy cabinet was empty before Mo Salah arrived. Before Mo Salah arrived and Jurgen Klopp, it was empty.
From a Premier League.
It was empty. Yeah. From Premier League point of view, Champions League, it was empty. So for him to go on and to be this successful with the football club, I think what happened in the summer is probably what's put him off. I think he's looked at that situation, what happened in the summer with the manager benching him and saying and not playing in so many games, and he's looked at it and thought, I think he left, he went to the African Cup of Nations and thought, you know what, I'm gonna come back, but I'll leave at the end of the season. Yeah. I think he made a decision there and then that yes, I will come back, but I will leave at the end of the season, because he felt disrespected. He felt that he should not been given the respect that he deserved. And some of the Liverpool legends came out and absolutely bashed him and said, oh no, you shouldn't have done that. And I said that he deserved, if one player deserved to come out and do and say what he said and want to be on the pitch, it's Mo Salah, because of what he's achieved at that football club. And what doesn't matter how you look at it, he's a Liverpool legend. He's a Liverpool great.
No doubt.
And somebody as well, some people put him 7, 8, whatever, in terms of the great Liverpool. No, I have Mo Salah top 3 Liverpool greats.
I do too.
You know, I have him top 3 Liverpool greats. Yes, you can mention Dalglish probably.
Gerrard, Salah.
And I think Mo Salah is for me top 3.
I'm with you on that.
So and that's how highly I rate him. That's how highly I think I rate him, and every Liverpool fan rates Mo Salah, because he's been absolutely
week in, week
superb
out for 9 years.
Week in, week out, scoring goals, winning games, creating chances, winning trophies, breaking records. He's just absolutely superb. And this is going to be a new Liverpool side. Without Mo Salah, it's just going to be a new Liverpool side. And I think Arne Slot will have his Liverpool side next season. I think that's where he's going to be judged. If they start poorly next season, I think he's gone. I don't even know he's going to stay come the end of the season if they don't make the Champions League.
I was going to say to you, there's a lot of comparisons. Obviously, Arne Slot's won a Premier League title. Liam Rosenior has not. But if Liverpool fail to make Champions League, I think they'll pull the pin.
I think so.
Xabi Alonso.
I think so.
I do.
I think so.
If they fail to make Champions League.
But I think that's going to be too harsh, because
it's mental.
But winning the Premier League he bought himself some time. You can't sack him straight away.
Even if they don't make Champions League.
Even if they don't make the Champions League, because he won the Premier League title last season.
He did.
I think for me, that's just bought him some time. Liam Rosenior hasn't won anything.
I know it.
I know he's only been there a couple months. But
no, it's different.
What I'm saying is he needs to make the Champions League, because we were in a good situation before he took over.
Yes. But
right now, we're not there anymore.
But champions to not making Champions League, you'd still stick with Slot?
I will still give him time. I will still give him next season. Okay. I will still give him next season.
Okay.
But I don't think the Liverpool fans want that. I don't think the Liverpool fans are buying what he's selling.
No.
Because right now, they want him out. They want him out. And if Mo Salah leaves next season, who is he going to replace Mo Salah with? Because Liverpool, I think they've done a good business there in terms of getting Mo Salah off their books. Because 400,000 a week. That is huge. That's massive. Now they can use that money. They can spend that money, bring in a couple players that they can pay those salaries, and they can strengthen the squad.
Yeah, they can.
So for me, I think it's a good piece of business for Liverpool and also for Mo Salah. Where does he go? I don't know. Of course, everybody thinks he's going to go to Saudi Arabia. Of course, he's going to go get some money. And it's not like he needs the money, does he?
I think.
But listen, if he goes to Saudi Arabia, he gets 100 million a year or 200 million a year. That's
mental.
That's a shame.
Sign me up. I actually think he ends up in Italy, John.
You think he has up in Italy?
I think he goes back to Italy. I think there's still an ambition there to win the Champions League. He's only 33, 34 next birthday. I've got a feeling. When I interviewed him over here for an event, he was talking about he loved Italy. Family loved Italy.
Yeah.
And I watched this space on Italy being destination for Salah. We agree. Top 3 Liverpool. Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise, in our opinion. In terms of where he sits, now you've said this a lot to me on this podcast. Thierry Henry is the Premier League's greatest.
Yes.
Does Mo get close? Where is Mo? Is Mo top 5? Is Mo top 3, in your opinion? Premier League greats then.
Premier League greats. I've always said Thierry Henry is number one. Thierry is number one. And when you look at the longevity as well, I know a lot of people don't talk so much about it. Listen, things happen. I think Ryan Giggs for me, the longevity
13 Premier League titles
of what he did for Manchester United, for me, it's crazy. You talk about Wayne Rooney, you talk about
Frank
Lampard, you talk about Roy Keane, Patrick Vieira, Didier Drogba, John Terry. These are top players. And I think Mo Salah has earned the right to be in that conversation. I think Mo Salah has earned the right to be in that conversation. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. Kevin De Bruyne, these players have earned the right to be in that conversation. So I rate him as high as I rate those guys. But just Thierry Henry for me was just, he was different. It was different. He was absolutely different. When you talk about player being unplayable, he was, for a couple of seasons or so, he was just unstoppable.
He did what he wanted.
Unstoppable.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely crazy. So for me, Mo Salah is ranked up there. But whatever he chooses to do next, I wish him well. Fantastic guy, good guy, family man, loves his family, loves playing football, and it's just a shame. But listen, time catches up with everybody. It's just what it is. You can't be somewhere forever. And I think he's leaving at the right time. But I just think that what happened in the summer, what has happened with the football club, between Mo and the football club, there's a friction there. I don't know if it's all good and well right now, but I think that's just painted some sort of not a good way, but I hope he lives. Right now he has few games to, for the fans to say goodbye and everything and sort everything out with him and the fans and the football club. So for me, absolutely fantastic. Credit to Mo Salah. What a player. What an absolute player.
On his day, no doubt. Of course, one of his big ambitions still left in his career is to win the African Cup of Nations with Egypt. He'll be playing in the World Cup this coming summer with Egypt. See where I'm going with this as well. This isn't just put together, John.
With BetWinner, every game is your chance to win. Trust your instinct. Place your bets. Feel the victory. Win with BetWinner.
I mean, it's been a few weeks this, and I've been dying to have this conversation with you because, listen, again, a proud Nigerian as you are, you've spoken so eloquently and brilliantly about in defence of African football, its position, the perceived kind of view that it's a second class kind of, I was going to say league, but continent in its football. But you must admit, the look is not good. When we saw the announcement that Morocco were being awarded the African Cup of Nations 58 days after they lost the final to Senegal.
Horrible. I mean, ludicrous decision.
Good.
I have no idea where that's come from. Absolutely zero idea. The incompetence of the people that again govern the football in Africa. Not just Nigerian FA I talk about.
The continent.
The continent in general. Forget about the football. We watched the African Cup of Nations. We saw the type of football we play. We saw the brilliance of the type of football that we play. The quality that we have.
Great games.
Amazing football. The players that we have, the talent, the potentials that we have in Africa. Morocco hosted an absolutely fantastic tournament. Guess what happened in the final happened. But shouldn't take away what we saw on the pitch.
Yes.
Shouldn't take away what we see with, again, African coaches improving, getting better. It's been how many times now an African coach has led an African team to winning the African Cup of Nations? We're growing in terms of our football, in terms of our coaches. We're developing. But we're not quite on the same level as the people running the game. The football is developing. The coaches are developing. But the people running the game...
The bureaucracy.
is just getting worse and worse. Absolutely disaster of a decision. I don't know where they got it from. 58 days after the tournament. If you feel that was the case, you had time in that game. If there was an article or somewhere written in the law, the referee was there.
The referee could have.
Forget about the referee was there. The CAF president was there. Whoever was in charge of the article was there.
When Senegal...
Why didn't you make that decision there and then?
Correct.
I said it. I was in the studio with Channel 4. I said it. I don't condone what Senegal did.
And it was wrong.
It was wrong.
And they need to be punished.
They need to be punished. I said that. But if you wanted to make a decision,
make it there.
Make it there.
Correct. 100%.
You don't wait 58 days after the tournament to come out and make some bullshit decision. Where did it come from? Who sat in this decision? What happened?
Politics.
How many people were in this decision making? Politics. Now, I don't want to say money's being passed around somewhere.
No.
But that's the corruption. That is the corruption when I talk about African football and the people that run the game. People mistake things when I say it. People that run the game, not African football. Don't put African football there. People that govern the game. When are they going to start taking responsibility of their decisions? When are they going to be held accountability for spoiling the game, for putting the game in this kind of situation? When will they come out and say we're making huge decisions that affect the game in the wrong way? Senegal's are champions of the African nations.
Punish
and
them.
They have the right to still parade the trophy, to still call themselves champions because they were champions. They played the game, they won the game. If you felt, if you felt that you had to make a decision there, make it there on the pitch because they worked out for so many minutes.
17 minutes.
17 minutes.
They're in the
You have the right to say, you know what, you've worked out.
Correct.
Game is done.
Correct.
Game awarded to Morocco. Nobody would have argued that.
We completely agree on
because nobody condoned what they did. I wasn't in support of what they did. No. You cannot walk out of the football pitch and come back. No, you can't do that. There were phone calls. Said your man is speaking to the president who was somewhere, I don't know. And he told them to come back on the pitch. What was that?
It was a mess.
It was a mess. But I don't condone that. But this decision that has just happened
2 months after
it's an absolutely shit show. It's an absolute disgrace. The stigma that has been portrayed of African football being shit. This is where it comes from. Decisions like this. This is where it comes from. When you make decisions like this, when you have the wrong people running the football, running the FA, people who are in charge, who have absolutely zero idea what it feels like to play football, to run the game, to govern the game, to make decisions that will affect the game in the right way. This is what happens. Because they make decisions not based on the game, not based on what will improve the game, not based on what they see in terms of the African game, football moving forward. Because when you make decisions like this, it's a shit show. It robs the game. It puts the game in a very, very sad and horrible place.
And you know what it leads to, John? It leads to certain people looking down. And again, the perception of African football is it's second class.
I will always defend African football.
Of course you will.
I will always defend because I played the African Nations. I won the African Nations. I know what a fantastic tournament is. I know what it is.
These things don't help it.
These things don't help
the perception of it.
The perception of it doesn't help it. These decisions don't help it. Definitely doesn't. But take nothing away from the football. Take nothing away from the players that we see. Take nothing away from the quality that we have in Africa. The physicality that we have. The athleticism that we have. The players. We saw it in the African nations. Yeah, the quality. Some of the goals we saw. Brilliant. And I also believe that in this World Cup, make no mistake about that, we will see African teams doing really, really well.
10 nations. You're 10.
10 nations. 10 countries that will do really, really well. But when you make decisions like this, when things like this come out, and those people sit on the boardrooms there, they sit in the offices there, and they make decisions like this, it makes the African players look bad. Yeah. It makes the African players look bad. You put in Senegal in this situation. You put in Morocco in this critical situation where Hakimi came out and said, I don't want it.
Of course
I don't want it. Don't give me that because I don't earn it. I was beaten fair and square on the pitch.
Yeah.
I don't want to be handed a trophy that I don't deserve.
There's my medal.
No, I don't want it. And they're right to do so, Morocco.
Yeah.
They're doing the right thing.
So Senegal, in your mind, champions.
Still champions. If the decision was made there and there,
I agree.
when they walked out of the pitch,
Yeah.
I will support it.
You can argue.
I couldn't argue about it because it was the wrong thing to do. You can't walk off the pitch. Doesn't matter what. You have to finish the game. And then you can make your complaints. They walked off the pitch. So CAF or whoever was in charge should have made that decision there.
Yes.
They should have stand their ground and make the bold decision there on the pitch and say, you know what? It doesn't matter what happened. It doesn't matter how the game ends. The rules are the rules. It was written in the article, whatever it is, that if you walk off the pitch, the game is awarded to the opponent.
And then, what you could do after the fact, you could even say if they're not happy with what they did, the punishment for Senegal, the idea I put forth was, tell you what, leave them, because to your point, John, they won it fair and square.
Yep.
Maybe just say, you know what, because we cannot condone your actions, you're actually not going to be allowed to defend it in 2 years' time.
Yep.
That would be better.
That would be better
than pooling it.
Than pulling it. It's again people making decisions. It's
amateur.
When I talk about people that run whatever, you know, I like to talk about people taking responsibility, because the only way you can move forward in life, the only way you can be successful in whatever you do, is to take responsibility when you know you've done something wrong. Hold yourself accountability when you've done something wrong. In Africa, we don't do that. And these people that are top of the tree, they don't do that. They hate doing that. They hate when you ask them to take responsibility. They hate when you ask them to take accountability because they don't want to do that.
Pass the buck.
Exactly. And I don't want to sit here constantly and talk about the corruption that runs the African football. Yes, they might counsel me, Chris. They might say, you know what? Fuck you, Mikel. You're never going to do anything African whatever. I don't care. I try to say the truth all the time. And whether you like it or not, the truth is the truth. The decision, people that make the decisions for us, that runs the game, be it Nigeria, be it the CAF, they have to make right decisions. Right now, they're not. They have the wrong people running the game. Until you have the people that have the game in the right place, that want to see the game progress, that have nothing to hide, that will be open, transparent, so that people can see where this is going, that is going. How do we improve the game? How do we improve the standard of the youth? How do we improve in the academy? How do we put money in the academy to improve what we have, the potentials, the skills, the qualities that we have? Because we do have that in abundance in Africa. But right now, we don't put the money in the right places. We don't invest in our youths. We don't invest in the academies. How do we get better? We can't get better. What we are seeing, the quality of the football that we're seeing, it's absolutely fucking fantastic. All we have to do
it's been undermined by this.
is invest a little bit more.
Yeah.
Be transparent. Do things the right way. When you make decisions like this, whereby a country has suffered, the players has suffered to win in the African Cup of Nations, and you taking that off them after 58 days, you've made this some fucking stupid rules or whatever you've come up with.
You said it, John. It's a shit show.
It's a shit show.
That's been the
It's
theme.
horrible. So for me, I don't understand it. Yes, Senegal, they have the right to continue to parade the trophy because they ended. They won the game fair and square on the pitch. I don't condone what they've done, but that decision should have been made there and there on the pitch, same day. CAF would have come out and make the strong decision and say, yes, you've walked off. The game is disqualified. We are awarding Morocco the title.
Agreed.
And credit to Morocco, I must say. Credit to Hakimi coming out and saying that. I don't want it. Don't give it to me.
We haven't earned it.
I haven't earned it. So for me, this is a strong statement, and I honestly, I hats off to him, and yeah. But again, we have to do things right in Africa. You know, it's becoming a norm. It shouldn't be a norm.
It is the norm.
It shouldn't be a norm because you know things should be done right. Things should be done properly. again, Nigeria not qualifying for the World Cup is going to be an absolutely fucking fantastic tournament, and we're not going to be there. And the people who are running the game are still there. They're still there. They haven't come out and say this is the reason why we haven't qualified for the World Cup, 2-3 times in a row. They haven't come out and make any statement. They haven't come out and say this is what we have to improve. This is how we need to get better. They haven't come out and say anything that's going to give the Nigerian people some sort of confidence going forward. Nothing. No accountability. No responsibility. Nobody's been held responsible for what has happened. How do we improve the game? How do we get better? How do we make sure next year when we get to the qualifiers of the World Cup, we do things right? We put things in the right structure. We create the right structure for these players. When they come, they have to make sure that we qualify for the next World Cup. Nobody.
It's all gone quiet.
It's all gone quiet.
It's
like it's never happened.
Yeah, exactly. That's the story moves on.
The story moves on. Again, how do we improve? How do we get Nigerian football to improve?
Like
don't tell me we don't have the quality, because we do. Don't tell me we don't have one of the best strikers right now in the world. Don't tell me the quality of football we played in the AFCON. We played one of the best football in the group stages. Some brilliant football we played. We got a good manager that's got playing good football. But how do you put things right?
Off the pitch.
Off the pitch. So that next time when we find ourselves in this situation of qualifying for the World Cup, we know what we have to do right. We know where we've made mistakes. We have to correct those mistakes. We have to put things right. How do we do that? Again, it's responsibility.
It's going to be a theme on this.
It's accountability.
Of course it is.
Nobody's doing that. If you go to the FA now and say, show me the books, how did we fail? Nobody's going to fucking do that. I don't think there's anybody in the fucking office anyways.
What book?
They're going to ask you, what book are you talking about?
Right. I want to wrap up because
a black book over.
There's a bit of a theme. It's been shit shows all over the shop, whether it be Chelsea, Spurs, the African Cup of Nations, the Nigerian FA. I want to finish the shit show that is your Instagram, John. It's been hacked. You've had so many problems. I think Arsenal fans have found a way into the matrix.
Yep.
But a big shout out to Antiban.
Yeah.
Pro, because they have dug you out of a hole.
Yeah, Antiban. Yeah. Somebody.
So well done. Thanks, team.
Yeah, I don't know. Arsenal fan. Yeah, somebody probably Arsenal fan went in and hacked my Instagram, and
But we're back.
Yeah, we're back. We're back. Thanks to antiban.pro. If you ever get your Instagram, you never know, they might hack your Instagram.
I'm not famous enough, John. No one gives a
if you ever do, contact them. They're absolutely brilliant.
Well,
it was very easy. They were so helpful. And and they got me back on track.
Give them a follow.
Sorry about that, Arsenal fans. I'm back on track. So yeah, if you ever do that, make sure you give them a shout out, because
you can't silence this man by hacking his Instagram. He's back.
Yeah.
Right, Obi-Wan podcast, made possible by, of course, the good team at BetWinner. It's been a long episode. We've covered an awful lot of topics. We could take a bit of a breather.
Yeah.
And we're going to be back with you very soon. Some big names. Of course, the big names keep on coming. Obi-Wan podcast made possible by BetWinner. Ta-ra for now.